What is going on, traders? Excited to have you guys in here this Thursday. Brad, Jason Bass, got the fellas in here this morning. How did you guys do yesterday? Kill it yesterday? We got a few popping up this morning we need to go over. Market's looking good, healthy, strong. SPYs hit all-time highs, I believe, yesterday. Oh, a little bit of a sell-off though today. Yeah, hit all-time highs, 339. A little bit of a sell-off. Hitting some major resistance. Let's go ahead and take a look at our leading gappers this morning. We got OPGN, KZIA, MYO, Auto. This morning, OPGN kind of leading the dance at the moment. OPGN leading the dance at the moment, so we'll bring that one up here shortly. Going through some of these gap downers. All right, let's go over OPGN. This stock this morning is our leading gapper. 15 million in the float, 18 million shares in the volume. Already rotated its entire float. Now up towards 360s at the moment. Well, the news they came out with this morning said that they got their CE mark. A CE mark is in Europe. You kind of have to have that mark to sell in Europe. So they got that CE mark in Europe for their COVID-19 test kit. So now in Europe, OPGN is able to apply this COVID testing to Europeans. So that's why OPGN is getting a little bit of hype behind it this morning. It's got that fundamental news behind it as far as the COVID goes. This stock's been rocking and rolling this morning. Most of these lean gappers have been plays in pre-market, and that's mostly been it until the market tells us otherwise. But we don't try to tell the market what to do. OPGN's got this hype news on it, though. We'll see how it's going to open on up. A lot of times these things pop, and they've been fading right out the gate. So they'll pop and then kind of fade on off after that. What was our leading gapper yesterday? I know MICT was one of our leading gappers on Tuesday, MBOT on Monday. Did we have really a leading gapper yesterday? But they've all been doing the same thing. So that's what I'd be kind of watching on OPGN. It's got a lot of volume on it right now. Ecom 2 in the house. Man, what's going on? Good morning to you as well. Just looking at OPGN here this morning for a little bit. It's our leading gapper this morning on our gap up watch list. 15 million in the float, 19 million volume. We are going to have 420 resistance. So that oftentimes is the case if you're going to be trading something like this. Just keep that in mind. This may continue to get that hype until it comes up to these upper shadows here, roughly around 420. Fast moves up to the magic number, right? Up through the whole dollar and towards that 20-cent area. Coin in the house, man. What's going on? Good morning to you. So let's keep OPG on watch for a little bit of hype up towards that 420, and then probably start seeing a little bit of profit taking and selling pressure from there. All right, let's continue down the list. I am going to be watching Target today, guys. TGT. This is on the bear scan watch list. TGT, this one is really overbought. I mean, this is the same setup. So some people, they get scared. They get a little trepidated by some of these high-priced stocks. There's nothing to be worried about. You're just trading the same chart. It's just a different price stock. And what you can do is just size accordingly. How do you size accordingly? Well, you take the exact amount of dollars that you want to spend on the stock. Let's say you're averaging like $2,000 or $3,000 a trade. Just take the price of the stock and divide it into that. So if you're trading $2,000 on a $1 stock, you're getting in what? 2,000 shares. If you're trading $2,000 on TGT Target, take 2,000, divide it by 155, and it'll tell you the exact amount of shares to get in. And that keeps your sizing consistent. It's very important. You don't want to have random size on every single different setup, because random sizing is going to be what? Random results. So Let's keep that sizing equaled out. Coin you traded NKE, KRIK, and Home. Nice. Yeah, I was watching KIRK this morning for kind of that setup that we normally look at for a little short, risking off at 12.35. I don't have shorts here on KIRK, but it is a nice play. Coin got the long side of it yesterday. Now we should start seeing some profit taken this morning. So let's keep KIRK Kirkland's on watch. This one really has... look at this chart, guys. This stock is crazy. Stock's getting crazy. It's up in this resistance territory around 1230s where it tapped out at yesterday. This one, man, guys, the last few weeks, stock has gone on a run. This summer it's been in the dollar range, all the way back up to in the 11s right now. So let's keep KRIK on watch. I really wish I had some shorts here out of the gate. Now, these can get very irrational, very quick, and can stay that way for longer than we can remain rational. You know, these short squeezes can get like that. So let's just keep KRIK on watch. This is one without tons of volume coming into it like it did yesterday. If we don't see this crazy amount of volume start pushing this thing on up, normally we do see just profit taken out of the gates on this type of setup. And it's the same type of setup I'm watching on TGT. And see this, they're the same thing. And it's also the same setup I traded this week on what? LXU overbought, risking off of the close, and then that stock starts fading. PRTY, the same thing last week. Way overbought, risking off of the close and the highs right there, and snaps and fades. And it's been fading for 3 days on PRTY. Yesterday was PEIX. I went over this one. I didn't have shorts here, but this one overbought for 2 days, risking off of the previous day's highs, and this one snap and fading as well. The one I got yesterday, which I was holding on to, was XERS. This one for 3 days. 3 days, 1, 2, 3. It's just kind of giving you a better and better setup. You get pocket pair aces, and then the flop comes out, you get another ace, and then the river. Your hand just keeps getting better and better, guys. That's how it is. So I traded this on Tuesday, risking off of the 467s. Ended up getting a 454 entry, and then held this overnight as well, and did pretty well in XERS. But it's the same setup, guys. That's all I'm trying to say. Same setup. So KRK, TGT, we'll be watching those out of the gates. Don't have shorts KRK. TGT I do have. So like I said, if this one scares you, just size accordingly. Do your $2,000, $3,000 or whatever size you get into, $10,000, and divide it by 155. And that will tell you exactly the amount of share size to get in with. Another setup I like this morning a lot is SURF, and I wasn't really making up my mind whether I like this on the short side or the long side, just because I like the pattern so much. We did get overbought yesterday, but the pattern I like, and it actually is perking up quite a bit here from $7 to $7.29, so some other people are noticing this pattern as well. Let's take a look at left of the chart, as we always do, to find out personality of this ticker. What are we seeing? This stock has a nice trend to it. Over the last few months, since March, the stock has really developed a nice little ascending triangle on it. Now, it hasn't got squeezed very tightly together, and most of the time they need to get squeezed pretty tight together before it ends up breaking. But it's testing this resistance area out, this upper shadow. Zoom out a little bit more here. Yeah, this gives us a little bit more insight on SURF. So it's got the ascending triangle going on right now, but then way back here in November, it's kind of this gap to fill. It's filling this gap right now. Zoom in a little bit. Yeah, this gap to fill is right here at around 740. We got resistance back here at 725 as well. So this is what I'm saying, guys. I can't make up my mind if I like this one. It just depends. I like this for a short because I think it still needs to get squeezed a little tighter together. But this is a nice breakout pattern, so it could really go either way. It just depends on volume. Volume is kind of what we got to pay attention to at the open here. If we get a little pop on it and we break above this 740 area, that is going to inevitably turn into support. So resistance turns into support. We could see this thing really start turning on around. But if volume is kind of light, I do expect some profit taken because this is going to be tough resistance. There are going to be big orders sitting here. It's going to be a wall of resistance. So volume's a little light. I do expect this one to get a little selling pressure on it and start coming on back down a little bit. But the idea here, if that is to happen, I would be covering and probably scooping it on up a little bit if we do start seeing this start selling on off back down to 614, because this is priming up. SURF is priming up. So if it's not necessarily a trade today, definitely keep it on your back burner list, because it's a little light in volume now, but we're right on top of it, guys, and we're usually on top of everything before the majority gets there. So just keep that one on watch. All right, another one I'm watching this morning, TGTX. This one coming up towards resistance, 24.76 on the daily. Let's zoom into the chart just a little bit here. TGTX, this one over the last since Monday or Friday, Thursday. Since Thursday, this one's really been grinding. So, are we due for a little bit of some profit taking? You'd think so. Faster the better on this. So here's what I'm watching. Here's kind of the idea here on TGTX. We do have 24.76 as its 52-week high. It tried to tap 24 yesterday, was unable to break that. So the idea here I'm thinking is, let's zoom into yesterday a little bit. Yesterday it had, look at this support here. It had really nice support around 23.35. Kevin W. in the house, man. What's going on? Good to see you in here. 23.35 is good support on TGTX. So let's just keep that on watch today. The idea here I have is I like this for a little bit of a fade, but if it curls back, because I do kind of want to start this a little early, risking off of yesterday's high. But if this one ends up breaking, the idea I have is to cut it or reduce it and then restart it against this 52-week highs. 52-week high is 24.76. 24.76. So there's a couple different ways of trading this. You can scale accordingly to 24.75, so start very small, or we can see what it's going to do out of the gates and risk off of the 24 area. But that is that one right there. Let's keep on trucking on. Yeah, if you guys have shorts for KRK, it's not a bad setup. I'm glad Coin brought that up off of 1235s. Keep that one on watch, as well as HOME. Coin said he got HOME as well. Both of these setups are looking really solid. HOME against yesterday's highs as well. HOME, KRK, both very similar setups. HOME, you can risk off of the previous close, which is roughly going to be 1880, or all the way up towards the highs. All right, let's keep trucking. All right, another setup I'm watching this morning is RFP. RFP, you see this upper shadow, 450s. It's testing this area out right now. It's got a little resistance in its past chart history as well, right around these 450s. Got a little overbought yesterday. Well, 4 to 450s, not too bad. Last time it did that, it had a very tall upper shadow, so we are seeing some signs of resistance around this area on RFP. Kind of the idea here, I was thinking I'd like it to, and I was watching this before it tapped $5. I was kind of wanting it to break $5, hit that 520 area, and then begin a short. But we got to see what it's going to do around 450s. 450s is going to be nice support on it. It was resistance, and support at the close. So 450s, we got to watch that area on RFP for support. But the idea here is not my favorite setup from this morning. I do want to see it fast, though. I want to see this one fast if I'm going to short it. Very fast move, coming up through maybe $5, 520. And then get a position on it. Ecom, VRT. What's going on with VRT? Let's take a look. VRT just got a little bit of random volume on it. Econ, did you just buy this thing on up and alert it? Just messing with you. They came out with a analyst upgraded $20 price target on VRT, so we can keep that one on watch for some volume to come into it. OPGN taking off a little bit. Still, highlighted orange, meaning what on the intensity scanners? Means this one's getting a little cranky, getting a little overbought at the moment. So this one's 15 million in the float, 21 million shares traded now, coming out with that COVID news this morning. Like I said, the idea is still the same with me. I think this one, maybe pre-market or at the open, might get that pop up through 4 to 420, and then we're going to start seeing some selling pressure. Is this going to be the one? Is this going to be the leading gapper that's finally going to break out forever? I wouldn't throw all the marbles in on it, but I also wouldn't be short on this either. Most of you know I do avoid trading the gappers because they're highly manipulated. OPGN could be dips all day. The float's been rotated. All the volumes here is getting 200, 300, 400, sometimes 500,000 shares traded a minute. So there's going to be opportunities on both sides of it. Going to be an avoid for me. I like the easier stuff. All right, another play I like this morning, INOD. INOD, this one closed, previous close at 245. Yesterday, this one's a little thinner. Came out with Q2 earnings, so I will be a little cautious on this one for that volume coming in. But we are at all-time highs on INOD. Let me make sure of that. Yep, all-time highs here. And I do like INOD. It's a little thin. I'd like a little volume to come into it, kind of up towards that 250, 260 close area. It's a little thin, though. If it gets a pop on it, I'll look for it for a short. INOD is very similar to RFP. I need a little pop on those because they're a little thin. Some of my favorite plays, I don't even have the shorts for this morning. I really like KIRK and HOME. And VVPR. VVPR is really nice against 420. That magic number yesterday that was held up very strong. VVRP is a nice little short if you guys have them. Those three I like a lot. I just don't have the shorts for them. But other than that, mainly going to be focusing on kind of that 2350 area on TGTX. We'll be watching SURF. We just went over that. This one is going to try to get that ascending triangle breakout pattern on the chart. Here it is for those of you who were not here earlier. Got a nice trend on it. It's getting squeezed tight together. It's got 730 as that gap to fill and that ascending triangle breakout. But I just don't know if it's primed. I don't know if it's ready yet. We may need to come back down to the trend a few more times, get squeezed a little tighter together. So we'll be watching this one for a short on a pop. If it pops like it did yesterday out of the gate. And then if it holds, I'll probably reduce and then cut and then probably flip. I'll probably flip to a long if it really starts holding on up because it's a nice pattern. It just, for a long, it needs really solid volume. And for a short, just looking for a little pop and fade it. And then TGT, I think, is a really good setup. I think TGT is getting a little cranky. TGT, target. My wife wouldn't be happy about me saying that. Yeah, she loves Target. Target, this one getting a little overbought. They are selling a lot on e-commerce. They are selling quite a bit. But this one's getting a little overbought. So I will be watching TGT for a little short on this as well. So that's kind of the idea. Alex. One shorting around $6. Is that one getting a little feisty? Oh yeah, that's not bad for backside. So you get a little pop on that. Kind of risking off of 650s and yesterday's after hours high and yesterday's at the market open high. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't trade backside a lot. But it does work, and it is very effective. MYO, yeah, that's a little gapper that's not gonna do much. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna get these charts loaded on up. You got any questions before we get started? If you have any questions, hit me up. We're gonna keep our eyes on all these charts this morning. OPGN still the same idea there. I think it's gonna get through $4 to 420 and fade it. TGTX, I like this against 24, and then the problem with TGTX is it's got 52-week high, which it may gravitate towards 24.76. So there's a couple areas I may have to reduce and then size back up towards that area if it gets up to 24.76. But remember, I don't go full size on one entry. I do not go full size on one entry. I break them up. Yeah, so we'll keep those on watch. All right. Yeah, that's not bad. KZIA coin for possible short as well. KZIA, yeah, that one. Kind of backside at the moment too, so it'd be kind of the same idea that Alex has on one. Try to get a little pop up towards like 820. I doubt it's going to get that high, but shorten into a little pop for fading. 650 is pretty solid support on it. It may try to hold 650. All right, fellas, I'm going to load these up. Any questions? We got 6 minutes till the market opens on up. WKHS, by the way, we could just talk about that one real quick again as well. This one was a sick play on Tuesday. Coin got all of that. And then what happened? Yeah, I'm going to screenshot this one. I'm compiling a bunch of these charts together and kind of going to be working on a little something for you guys. WKHS, it's the same setup, guys. We always look for a pop, tons of volume coming into the close, and then fade. Favorite pattern. Jonathan, you just now rolling out of bed, man? I'm 24. What's going on? You get the email I sent you, man? You get everything cranked and loaded on up, and you should be set. But yeah, WKHS, this one has been really respecting that $15 risk still. $15 risk. Here's the last 20 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Try to have a little fake out breakout under 15, and then that's when it really collected some shorts and got a little nice squeeze on it. Jonathan, now you're making me feel bad. I probably should have been doing the same thing this morning. Nice, man. Got your CMEG account today. Man, everything's looking good for you, man. Yeah, check your email. I sent you something, and that's really gonna, I think, help get you cranked up with this CMEG account. So check your email. All right, any questions, guys, before we get this day going? Yep. Go to the site intensitystockwatch.com and type in that username and password, and you'll have access until next Friday. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great time for you. Lots of learning. You'll be in there with my mentor, a few other traders that it's a private room, and it's gonna be a great time. Brad, love you too, man. Let's kill it again today, guys. Another day, another dollar. Let's get it. If you guys have any questions at all, email me, averydaytrading@gmail.com. If you want these scanners, 30% off, description below. Love you guys. We will see you all first thing next time.